What's going on, guys? Jacob Worth back here with another video of Jacob's Life in Vegas, coming to you guys here on a nice warm night in southern Nevada. Sun has gone down. It's absolutely beautiful right now, just before it starts to get too dark to make videos. Coming to you guys today with a topic about real estate. And this is one, every so often you guys know I like to do real estate update videos or talk real estate here on the channel. I enjoy that. And it's funny because lately I've had somebody in person say, hey, you should do a video talking about real estate in Vegas and why home prices haven't gone down, or that, you know, the real estate economy here has not crashed, and you know, we haven't tanked or things like that. And numerous people in the comment section recently have been asking for that as well. So I guess it's all kind of coming together for me to make this video. Guys, go ahead and hit the like button on this video. Turn that like button blue for me. I think 3,000. If I get 3,000 likes on this, I think that'll be pretty good. Talking about real estate here in southern Nevada. So let's talk about why real estate has not crashed here in Las Vegas in 2020. Real estate. So jumping into this topic, okay, let's talk about a little bit of history here, okay, in Vegas, really all around the country, right? 2004, 2007, people remember the big boom in real estate, unless you're like, you know, younger millennial or Gen Z or something like that. But if you know, maybe like middle of millennial generation or older, you remember probably the real estate boom to some degree, and you remember the aftermath of it, when things went down. They were really bad. And then the Fed came in, lowered interest rates. You know, there was some bailout money being given out during this time. And, you know, eventually over time, real estate got better. When I first started doing videos here on YouTube in 2014, and I would talk real estate here in Las Vegas, a lot of stuff I would talk about those first couple of years was just about Las Vegas real estate getting stable. Because June of 2006, we were at our peak in real estate here during the boom for median home price in Las Vegas at $315,000. Then 5.5 years later, December 2011, that median price had fallen all the way to $119,000. So a few years after that, you know, it was just trying to get stable here was a big deal in the Las Vegas area. Now, in recent years, the Las Vegas area has done very well in terms of real estate. For a lot of people, 2020 was a year that was expected to be a year when the economy as a whole, on a large level, was going to start to go down here across the U.S. because the economy had been strong for years leading up to this, but it was, you know, commonly felt that it was eventually going to start going down. Because remember, our economy is cyclical. There's times it goes up and it comes down, it goes up and it comes down. But, you know, it can only go up for so long, it can only go down for so long. Okay, people forget that sometimes. They think great times, they forget that great times in the economy are not going to last forever, but they also seem to forget that bad times in the economy are not going to last forever as well. So real estate's been chugging along with high prices here, prices continuing to go up around the Vegas Valley, and then we get hit with the virus, right? Virus comes March, basically just like the world stops turning here in southern Nevada, and stock market goes crazy, and people are expecting real estate to like follow along. They're expecting real estate to do the same kind of thing. And people are kind of wondering what's going on. Why isn't real estate, you know, following that same trend? How come? And this has really happened all around the country, not just in Las Vegas, but lots of other cities are places where you see real estate median sales prices are high right now for home sales. And it's just kind of, a lot of people look around and say, well, this doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Well, focusing here on Las Vegas, after the virus took place, what did the Fed do? Okay, they lowered interest rates on mortgages. So early in the year, I mean in January, we had mortgage interest rates under 4%. Okay, you could get them for under 4% back in January, in the beginning of the year. So when everything was going bad with the coronavirus, the Fed lowered interest rates even more. And for the first time ever, interest rates have fell below 3%. First time that has ever happened. Now, the whole point of lowering interest rates, okay, the point of lowering interest rates is to make it cheaper to borrow money. So whether you're taking out a loan to pay off a mortgage for a house, a loan for a car, a student loan, a business loan, whatever the case is, your interest rates dictate how much of that money, how much it's going to cost you to pay back that loan, whether you're paying it back in 5 years or 30 years. Okay, the interest rate is a huge factor. So if you're paying off, you know, student loans that were 8.5% interest rate like I did, that really sucks. But if you're paying off a loan, you know, that's at 2.85%, 2.92%, you know, 3%, whatever the case is, you're not paying as much money over the long term. So it becomes cheaper to borrow money because you do not have to pay back as much money during the time of that loan. So the idea behind lowering interest rates for mortgages was to encourage people to take out a loan to buy a home. The government wanted more people buying homes because they felt that that was a good attempt to try to help stimulate the economy and and make the economy stronger. Now, the math can be huge when it comes to lowering interest rates and how much it can affect you on your mortgage if you're buying a home. So let's take a look at two different examples here. I'll use a lot of the same numbers, but we're gonna look at two separate 30-year mortgages. The first example we'll look at in the first mortgage, let's say for both examples, the home costs $300,000, and let's say for just the sake of math and simplicity that you have your 20% down payment. So you're gonna get a mortgage at $240,000. Okay, if you did this in 2018, when the average annual 30-year fixed rate, according to bankrate.com, was 4.7%. Okay, $240,000 mortgage at 4.7%. Your monthly payment's $1,245. Your total payoff in 30 years would be $448,103. Almost $450,000 you would pay in 30 years for that $240,000 mortgage. Now, let's go to mortgage number two to compare. Let's say you did this in 2020. Same price for the home, $300,000. You need a mortgage for $240,000. But now, you get an interest rate at 2.77%. Your monthly payment now for that same amount of money is $982 a month. And your total payoff is $353,636. That's a difference of $94,467 over the 30 years it would take you to pay it. So that's around $3,150 per year extra that you get to keep. Now, that sounds great. That's awesome, right? Who wouldn't like a few extra $1,000 a month that they could, take and spend somewhere else? They could invest somewhere else if they wanted, right? It's about $100,000 of that 30 years you can take and put somewhere else. So you can put your money to work for you. So it sounds like that would be a great thing for people looking to get a mortgage right now. So it's like, hey, great time to go and buy a home, right? There's a few things in the way. There's a few things that are kind of throwing that off. The first thing I'll talk about that's throwing that whole situation off with people buying homes, here in Las Vegas particularly, is we had low inventory back in January of 2020. Back in January, way before this virus really took its course. In February of 2020, there was almost 40% less inventory than February of 2019. March comes, and March we hit a record median sales price of $316,000, which is higher than the $315,000 in June 2006, which is the peak of the boom, but that of course doesn't factor in, about 14 years of inflation. Then the virus hits. Stock market goes down, and so do interest rates to encourage home buying. Now, we already had rates in January that were below 4%, and it was not uncommon in January for you could check, every day if you want interest rates, and you could see that sometimes several days in a row in January of 2020, interest rates would go down. So this is before the virus, before things got really bad here in Southern Nevada. The second thing throwing it off or making this a challenge here in Las Vegas is many people do not want to sell their homes right now because they don't want people walking through their homes. Okay, with this virus going on, lots of people do not want strangers walking through their home when they're trying to stay healthy. They're worried about someone else making them sick. Some people just, of course, depending on their job that they have, they're worried about taking it to work, and getting other people sick or, getting their kids sick or something like that. So a lot of people, they just don't want to take that risk. They don't feel like having strangers walk through their home at a time like this. The third thing throwing this off right now is a lot of people, their employment future is very uncertain for them. So you do have people, around the country, really we're not that much, in terms of their income, we're not that impacted by this virus. Depending on the type of work you do, depending on the industry you work in, you may not have really been affected by this virus. But there are a lot of people who've had their hours cut, or they've been laid off, they're waiting to get called back, they've been surviving on unemployment, or they've been living off of, maybe they're a married couple and they just have one spouse's income to live off of. There are a lot of them, they're not in a situation where they really want to be looking to do a major change in their life, like selling a home and moving somewhere else, when they have so much going on in terms of uncertainty when it comes to their employment and when it comes to their own income. And the last reason that we have an issue with this right now here in Las Vegas is because we have so many people that move here, right, every single year from all across the country. But with us being right next to California, there's people are just bailing out of California. They've been doing it for years anyway. But there's more and more people, seems like always leaving California, getting out of California, and coming to move here to Las Vegas, coming to move here to Southern Nevada. People moving from other states as well, because especially now with this virus, a lot of people, they either, they've discovered at their job that they could work remotely. A lot of people whose jobs, would not let them work remotely or work from home or anything like that. A lot of people, when things do eventually get back to normal, they're not going to be going back to their job at the office or at the building every single day. They're going to be working from home either all the time or some of the time or whatever the case may be. So for a lot of people, it's like, well, why do we pay to live, in this expensive city, or pay this place that has high state income tax, or whatever the case is, if we can just go live somewhere that has no state income tax, or live somewhere that has a cheaper cost of living, or the place has all kinds of entertainment options. We can still get the benefit of our income from our job we have, in whatever other state they were working in before. So that's another factor that we deal with here in the Vegas Valley, is so many people moving in from other states who are going to be able to work remotely, because there are people still buying homes here in Southern Nevada. There are. I know it seems like the world has stopped because of this virus, but there's people still moving here to Southern Nevada while all of this is going on. To cap this off, as it's getting a little dark and just got like the lights, the lights here on the street that are giving me light right now. To cap this whole thing off, so we start the year off in Vegas with low inventory already. So when inventory is low, and there's people looking to buy homes, inventory is low, and that pushes up the price, the median price, because there's only so many houses available. There's only so many available, and people are looking to buy. So the few houses there are that, relatively speaking, the price is going to go up on those, because the demand, the amount of people looking to buy those is high compared to what's available in the market. So we start off 2020 that way, okay, with inventory low, median price high, interest rates below 4%, and that just continues all the way into March. Virus hits, and then later the Fed decides to lower interest rates even more, and we still have low inventory. So we have low inventory. It's now even cheaper to buy money. You can get an even better interest rate on your mortgage, which is why a lot of people are refinancing right now. So the inventory is still low. The inventory is still low. The interest rates are even cheaper, so that's why the price is still staying high. Last I saw recently, we're at about 35% lower inventory right now than we were at this time a year ago. So we're dealing with thousands of less homes on the market. Demand is going up because the interest rates are lower, so it's encouraging people to go buy. Plus, you have people obviously, moving here in a normal time in Las Vegas anyway, and you have more people moving from California, from other states that are looking to move because now they can work remotely, or if they found out they can work remotely from their jobs. So all those factors coming together, you're going to get high prices when it comes to home sales. That's what you're going to get. When there's only so many homes available and there's more people who want to buy them than there are homes available, that's what's going to happen. How it happens going forward, what happens going forward, who knows? We shall see what plays out, in the coming months and the coming years. But it's interesting because this was a year that a lot of people thought, the economy was going to cool off and start to head down anyway, and this virus is it's just been something unexpected, to say the least. So in the coming months, we'll see what happens with real estate, but that's really why it has not fallen off a cliff. It's just supply and demand. We have low inventory, the supply is low for homes for sale, and the demand is high. I mean, the demand was already good beforehand. Now demand has gone even up more in some cases because the interest rates are lower, so it's cheaper. So the Fed is trying to increase the demand to get more people to buy, but you have a lot of people who don't want to sell for reasons we talked about earlier. Plus, we already have low inventory here in the valley. So all those factors equate to what you have going on right now. So guys, I appreciate you watching this video. Appreciate you guys being so awesome. I'm going to post another cool video right over there that you guys can check out. And I'm going to sign off here as it's starting to get dark, and go edit this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Jacob. This is My Life in Vegas.